Welcome back to another video. It is a brand new month on our journey to 10 million trading this year, where I'm breaking down every single trade that I take transparently in front of you. In this video, I'm going to break down every single trade I took today, the setup behind it, and the thought process. So let's get right into it. Today, I took 3 trades for a total of $40,000 to start the month. This is a fantastic way to start the month. And for the year, about a 95% daily win rate, and we're up about $371,000. Now remember, every time I show you these results, I've been trading for 7 years, and trading is not a get rich quick business. But in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what I saw to make $40,000 today. So today we took 2 different types of setups. Now these are setups that I've talked about on this channel before, but what were the setups that we took? And remember, on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, I'm going to post a main channel video on Scarface Trades where I'm going to go over all these setups a lot more in depth. So make sure to stay tuned for that, 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. But the first setup we took today was the previous day high. Now I've talked about this multiple times on my channel. Essentially, all the previous day high strategy is you're going to mark out your previous day high and your previous day low. Then when the trade comes above your previous day high, you're going to look for the retest for continuation. But today we actually ended up breaking below that level. So what I did was we broke above, we came back, we broke below. And then when we were reclaiming back above this level, this means that buyers are now trying to overpower sellers again. They weren't able to hold the retest, but they were able to hold the reclaim. I entered in on the reclaim entry looking for a move up into high of day and continuation. So that was the first setup I took, which was the previous day high reclaim entry. And then the second trade I took was also a very simple entry, and that is simply marking out your pre-market high and your pre-market lows. Once you have a break above or below your pre-market high, in today's example it will be the pre-market high, I look for the retest of the pre-market high level looking for continuation. And that first trade I took, and once again I'm going to show you the live examples as well, once I took that one actually came back up into high of day and failed, and I actually bought the reclaim of the pre-market high again for the bigger trade for today. So 2 reclaim entries, 1 retest entry for us today. Now let's actually go look on the chart of what we saw. So today, $40,000 on MU. I bought the 425 calls. Then I took Apple as well, 265 calls on Apple and another 425 calls on MU, and that was a losing trade. So let's break down exactly what I saw coming into today. And on the daily time frame, remember what I said about MU. I give you guys my watch list every single Saturday. Make sure you're watching those Prepare for Monday videos because I give you my full game plan. I said that MU will remain bullish as long as we don't come back below this down close candle. So what we did was mark out the previous day high and we marked out the previous day low on MU. Now, if we go to the 1 minute time frame on MU, we can see pre-market, we were actually opening up near that 409 area, which is your previous day low. So what happened? Well, I was looking to see if there was going to be any buyers within the first 5 minutes of MU. That's going to be very important, right? The first 5 minutes, I wanted to see any sort of buyers stepping up. If buyers stepped up, then I would be interested in MU. You can see within the first minute, previous day low, buyers step up aggressively off of that level, and MU decides to have a really nice push up. Then what I was looking for was the retest of your pre-market high, right? This is a strategy that I just explained. The pre-market high, once again, was around 420, 44s. What I was looking for was the retest and then continuation back to the upside. MU did have room all the way up into 430 and 438s today, and that's essentially what I was looking for. So let's kind of see how MU played out. We can see we came back for the retest here on MU, and when buyers stepped in on this candle right here at 935, as buyers were actually stepping up on this candle a little bit above this one. So this 934 candle closed above pre-market high, and then this 935 candle, as this one was forming above this high of the 934 candle. Remember, if you're a little bit confused about that price action, don't worry, I have a full price action video explaining that in the link in the description, which is a full playlist on how to start trading. But that's where I entered looking for high of day and continuation on MU. Now, if we actually play out this trade, we can see that MU actually did end up reaching high of day, and I tried to take off about 50% of my position here on MU, but the spreads were just a little bit too high, so I was able to take some off, but not the full 50%, and this one actually ended up coming all the way back down. Now, I stopped out on this 943 candle, so once we broke back below on this 943 candle, which my entry was around this area as well, I stopped out of the remainder of my position to have a small losing day, about $4,000 to start off the day. But what happened? Well, MU MU was still holding up back above your stop, right? So our original stop was just a break of this up close candle. We only moved our stop because once again, we rejected that previous high, and that's why I moved my stop. But then we started seeing buyers stepping in again. And because I saw those buyers stepping in again, this is where I got once again interested for that move back up on MU. So on this 950 candle, I re-enter the same 425 calls on MU. This is the reclaim, right? Buyers are stepping in. We're still holding above your pre-market high. I enter in again, looking for high of day and continuation. We play out this trade a little bit more. You can see we actually ended up consolidating, but we never broke below any of our key levels. And remember, every single trade that I take is live in the accelerator where I live trade every single day to help traders see and also walk through trades, because if you were in this consolidation on MU, you may have exited too quickly, but there was no reason to exit on MU as market structure was not broken. Plus I saw that this previous structure also held on MU, and then we can see we got a really nice push up back up into highs all the way up into 436 here on MUs, and buyers stepped up very nicely. Now in terms of some of my skills, I ended up taking skills at high of day on this big push up into 432s and then the push up into 435s. Then I only had a trailer position left of around 10%, and with that trailer position, if we actually end up playing this trade out a little bit further, we can see that this one ended up just kind of consolidating throughout the day, and I actually ended up stopping myself out around this 1055 candle when we were breaking back below this 1036 candle. We're gonna reach this level up here, right, which is 438, but I stopped myself out a little bit before that level, unfortunately, but this one was a super nice trade regardless, and about $40,000 for the day on MU with the $4,000 loss in the beginning of the day. Now the second trade I took was Apple. This was a super nice trade as well, and let's kind of break down what I saw on Apple. So now, like I talked about for our weekly outlook, which once again I post on this channel for absolutely free, right? Apple already had earnings. Apple is coming out of a buy zone as well currently. Remember, if you want to see that chart, you can simply rewatch that video from Saturday, and you can see all we did was mark out your previous day high, previous day low, and remember, Apple beat earnings, and therefore Apple is definitely a little bit bullish after coming out of this buy area. Now, if we go to the 1 minute time frame, you can see that Apple was coming near that previous day high, and we can see if we break above previous day high, Apple does have room. And therefore for myself today, the thesis was very simple. It was a break above, a retest and continuation of your previous day high. That's all I wanted, was a simple break and retest of your previous day high. Let's play out this trade to see exactly what happened. Within the first couple minutes, we can see Apple big buyer stepping up. Then I was interested in this retest level. On this retest, we never got strong price action, so we were able to avoid this unnecessary loss or this low quality trade because there was no strong price action. I was waiting for buyers to step up, but no buyers stepped up, making us once again not take that loss for us. And then what I was looking for was a reclaim entry back above this level. The only way I would enter Apple is if we reclaim back above your previous day high. And as we can see, what happened here was Apple ended up reclaiming back above. Buyers started stepping up on this very next candle. On this candle, I look to enter into Apple once again, looking for continuation, right? Your stop loss in this scenario would simply be a break back above this down close candle. And then we were looking for that 265 area. That's where buyers, of course, were stepping in. That was a higher time frame level plus a whole psychological number here as well. And if we actually end up playing out Apple, we can see we ended up consolidating for a decent amount of the day, but Apple ended up hitting your 265 level very nicely, and buyers were able to step in, and that was the Apple trade for today. A very simple trade executed well because I had my plan on Saturday, and all I did was plan my trade to trade my plan. So if these trade breakdown videos help you and you want to see more of them, make sure to leave this one a like. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any trades on our road to 10 million, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video.